Welcome to the final race of the WEC Championship. I know that's the worst name I could do. It's the same as naming this game LMU Ultimate or something, but oh well. You cannot name it WE Championship either, but the World Endurance Championship is too long for a title, perhaps. Either way, we are 10 minutes to go. My chat is closed for whatever reason. There we go. Hi Pierre, hi Penicillin, hi Mario. Welcome everyone. Right, this is still the practice server. Pace looks alright. I don't know, probably these people are doing race runs anyway. I just tried a quali run, but not to be stuck in the talking. Actually, my phone is on. I don't want a call in the middle of the race. Let me just fix that. Okay, all good. And let's drive for one last time. One last time before the big updates, you know. Last time that I have a problem with a livery like this. For those of you who have not watched our dear Steven Houdini on the LMU channel, we are having all our livery problems fixed. Except the driver swaps with liveries. That's not fixed yet. But they are working. Hello Serban. Yeah, thoughts on the update video. Right. A lot has been said. I mean, I'm already talking about the update video, right? About the liveries. It's interesting that they started with only liveries in the qualifying and races, and not offline, but now somehow they managed to implement things like it should be. And I exited the garage on old tires, that's fine. I will practice a bit of pit entry. Hello Katrique. There's probably gonna be new crashes. Ooh, look at that. Almost collected it. Just simulating worn tires for the pit entry practice. I think I also need to restart the game because my mirror is like squeezed again. I'm gonna do that as I change the servers. Yeah, probably new crashes, let's see. I hope that things work and we don't find new bugs and stuff like that. Livery hub, I mean, let's see how they implement it. The footage kind of suggested that you will have to go a little bit onto the website and do the clicks there. I don't know, let's see. Well, about Silverstone, it's a weird one. I think in real life they have messed up the layout, not the layout, but like the curbs. The choice of how they did the track limits in real life is quite weird. But let's see, I hope it drives well. Look at the shadows. Look at, do you see? Return to garage, take new tire, and drive again. Yeah, I hope that one day they fix the shadow as well, because this is quite funny, because these shadow renderings do weird things. I turned shadows to medium for whatever reason, for more immersion. Christy, it seems like that. As far as I understand, Stephen Hood explained that the fee, like the €7 or something, whatever the Race Control Pro fee is, it's used to keep the systems running, which includes sharing delivery to everyone, even the non-pro users. So yeah, I believe it's all gonna be very straightforward and very functional. Evening, Johnny. Copy done. Yeah, we have done in the chat. That's very useful. because he knows, although probably he is not allowed to tell as much as we would want to. Serban for sure. Yeah, let's see what party event they are gonna put together for the Tuesday. I mean, Dan is here, so he can maybe make a preview of what to expect on Tuesday, but probably it's gonna be like ELMS at Silverstone, I would imagine. I don't know, like 90-minute race around Silverstone with GT3, LMP3, and the new LMP2 with the extra power. That's the logical conclusion that I do. But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to everything, to trying things out, and if nothing else, we have VCO ERL round 2 next Saturday, and I believe we are doing the LMP2, the non-ELMS LMP2 there, at unknown track. That's gonna be a public vote. Although I don't know if I should stream it. Like I said in my Discord, so who knows, like those of you who are in Discord know, but we've had this VCO esports racing league round 1 in ACC already, and it was a proper carnage. Like it was so terrible with driving standards that it's not even fun to watch or to make fun of it anymore. It was just so appalling that I don't know if I should even stream the LMP2, like LMU round, but maybe I will. Let's see. Need to decide. But there's gonna be many LMP2 laps done for that for sure. Yeah, like classic ACC driving. So I don't know what they are doing there, but my experience of ACC esports is such that if you brake for a corner on the latest possible point, you will get crashed out from behind. So you need to brake later than you want. You need to outbrake yourself, and then the guy the guy behind you will just about not hit you, but he will of course run wide on the exit. But it's gonna be happening every braking zone, so it was so terrible. And then the contact model, like the netcode and everything, you just don't know where the guy is because he's lagging and rubber banding. It's so insane that it really made me double think, why is ACC so popular? Like it's horrendous to drive on there compared to LMU, netcode wise. I cannot understand. Like on the limit at least. If you have clean drivers that always leave a lot of space, then okay. But as soon as you have to be like millimeter perfect and deal with a little touchy, I just don't want to drive it. It's horrible experience. So anyway. How do they call it? Trauma dumping on my chat? Sorry. Right, I will... So 2 minutes to go. I mean, practice session is kind of useless there anyway when I change server, because it's too short to keep the tires, to warm up the tires, so let me practice pit entry one more time, and then restart the game to fix this mirror bug. And then we join the server. Yeah, I have to throw a tantrum because it was horrendous, like, I don't know. I was just happy with my esports performance because I did a P19 with quarterfinal combined grid against all the ACC pros. Only 3/10 of pace. Which is my personal best personal best performance in ACC, because In the past events in ACC I was like 6, 7, 8 ends off. And it's such a hard game to find the limit. So where is the breaking point? Right at that triangle. Perfect. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Let me exit. Let me restart everything. Quit. Exit to desktop. Actually, the game didn't crash on me when trying to exit, so no bug splat report. And we're back. What did Stephen Hood said? Well, he held a controller. He said something about Chinese translation. Then I really think like gaming and sim racing and stuff like that is probably having quite some potential of growth in East Asian countries. So if that brings in some extra thousands of players, hopefully funding for another 10 years for the LMU sim and RF3 and RF4 and so on. Do I try to trail till apex? With GT3, I think the rotation in GT3 has to happen while lifting the brake. So when you go from full input to less input, that's when the rotation has to happen. If you have to still stay on the brake to keep kind of nose down and car slowing down, then it's already slightly off, kind of. Bahrain, right, this is the one. I'm gonna fully rely on whatever Go setups have cooked. We've done a little bit of improvements on the Lexus setups. Well, me personally, not really much, but I believe tomorrow they're gonna be available, the updated ones for the Lexus, because the old ones are fast, but maybe too much on the limit. But these ones are, yeah, the car is basically driving itself. Even on the esports ones. Well, on cold tires, no car will drive itself. And maybe a bit more cut. Logi, you mean in relation to trail braking or overall? Serban, that could be the case, although I don't really know if... yeah, that's too much into ABS and I go straight. It's not really too hot temps. Let's see how hot it gets in the race, or in the quali for that matter, like 32. Yeah, maybe there is still a bit of overall problem with how slowly the tires heat up, because 32 is kind of on the lower side. 40 is alright, 50 is on the high side for me. Well, maybe the Ferraris and the Porsches and the Lambos will say otherwise. You can feel it in iRacing, but in LMU you're missing something. So what I would say is that I think I know what you mean, because in iRacing, I would say in iRacing, until like 95% of the limit, whatever the limit is, I feel the car better compared to LMU. But from 95% onwards, I feel LMU better. overall I still feel everything much better in R Factor 2, but the tires are broken. And then again in iRacing I can be within some pace, like within 3-4 tenths. It's not that much of a problem for me, but it's easier to get closer to pace, to the top esports pace in iRacing than in ACC for me. But then the last 2 to 3 tenths in iRacing are just physical impossibility for me. Like in my whole life I cannot do it. I would have to start iRacing when I was 15 and do it for many years at the highest level, and then it would be doable. But I'm too late for that, maybe. Although, again, I've not really tried the newest tire model there yet. But when I tried it shortly, it didn't feel too much different, and I lacked a lot of feedback on the limit. But somehow in LMU I feel everything I need to feel. I feel like, yeah, for sure some info at some points is missing, but then again, having grown up in RF1 and RF2, I can kind of assume what's gonna happen, so... "10 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna go straight out because it's 2 minutes per lap, so I need all the time. We have 4 new tires for the race, but we will need this set that we have currently on. So no spins. Hi Colin, yep, Lexus prey time or prime time? It's not getting any hotter. 32, yeah, I think... I don't think the Lexus is really that favored around here. Like in quali, it's gonna struggle. But let's see. Our main and only competitor in the championship, Mr. Leiden, is in the Lexus as well. But I would assume that maybe some Lambo or Aston would be up there. In quali at least. Yeah, about that connection, I think ABS is as well a huge problem, even though LMU is by far the best thing when it comes to feeling ABS. Like you hear it, you feel it through the FFB, it makes a lot of sense, but just what the tires are doing when ACC is activated is very difficult to feel and predict. But personally, still much easier than in ACC and iRacing, just because you can feel ABS. You drove it for Interlagos, you mean like the WEC experience? Yeah, that's fixed setup. Well, fixed setups are a problem for sure. If you drive the GT3s on the fixed setups and you have a little bit of skill at least, you will feel really weird things. But I do agree that it should go like if we are even able to put two extremes, LMU on one side and R Factor 2 on the other, when it comes to FFB and slip abuse. This tire certainly overcame the slip abuse and you cannot do it anymore, but it would not be unrealistic to just tone it down a little bit, so we can still use maybe just marginal more slip. And then again, we had those videos. Was it Morad who explained that there are anyway in real life different tires that feel completely differently, and that then it depends which tire we are simulating. And then in real life, I know that GT3 tire can be like very tricky and wearing like crazy, and then maybe you can slide it 1 or 2 times, but then you are 2 seconds of pace. Again, it depends on the manufacturer of the tires. Ah, we have Huben in the Lambo. That's our pole sitter. It's funny because there were so many top people in Lexus at the start of the season, but one by one they were abandoning the car, starting to take other cars. It was looking to be quite a huge championship fight like against all of them. But now it's only myself in Leiden, and Leiden is quite far behind because of his Le Mans shunt out of the lead. It was Perel. Perel was explaining, yeah. Coach Dave, of course. Tire still frozen. The last lap will be the most important, feels like. Yeah, maybe it's CDA setups. I know that CDA setups are really decent on most cars, but it depends on what you struggle with the most. Like the Lexus is really great, except for that weird, very late entry snap that sometimes happens that's super difficult to manage and control, and there are setup things that fully fix it. And I think this new version of Go setups that will be available, I believe, tomorrow, has fixed it quite a lot. But you know, there is this rear rotation still that you have to count on it, but sometimes it can snap out of it if you just overdo it on the brakes. Don't read the chat and drive into a corner. Yeah, the Lambo is really well drivable, for sure. Although on eSport setups it can be very snappy as well. Right, 2 laps to make it count. Need to gain 1.7. Ooh, the Corvette in P1. Interesting. Beautiful rotation. Dilde looking very nice. that was very hesitant. But we have one more attempt to do. Kuban with 59. Okay, let's gain the 2 tenths. Lost a bit there. Well, P3, P4, P5. I lied and improved just about in the end. Okay. Okay. Was a bit of a messy lap. I lost half a tenth in that double left, like in the hairpin 10 and 11. And then in the last 2 corners, surely half a tenth in the penultimate, and then I broke weirdly early into the last one. Okay, well, P5 is not too bad. We have the Corvettes and the Lambos that should struggle more in the long run. Nice to see a bit of a Corvette comeback. Okay. Return to garage. Load the race. Wait, this one. Yeah, this is the outer. Load. Thinking of what tire to start on. Maybe we should start on the old. Should we? Makes sense. Maybe I have more advantage over people behind, and then I can come back later on in the race. Force them into an undercut. Ah, P6. P5. What? What's going on? Think it's all fine. Yeah, Bob Tourist. I mean, I know that with Go setups, some guys have been working hard there in the team on the Corvette, and they found some interesting things about the car. Because it's surely a very, very tricky car. It can rotate uncontrollably. Thank you, Shark. Hello. Chad, I agree with that. McLaren is such a weird car. Even though it's kind of very tame, but at the same time, if you try to make any rotation on the setup, the rear is gonna be uncontrollable, and the front is very stiff, and it's just, yeah, it's a weird car, but it's not slow. The Corvette is kind of like, if you want huge rotation but you don't like the Porsche, then you take the Corvette. Right. I have the correct tire. I will use more power cut. And then we have fresh mediums available. We will actually need full tank, right? Not even... will we have to lift and coast? It will probably be 50 laps. 25... Yeah, actually it's light lift and coast on full stints. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, the Mac, I don't know how exactly the real life drivers talk about it, but I've seen real life drivers saying about cars that they are like they should be, kind of. They have similar tendencies. Spin the Porsche like fidget spinner. I tend to do like that as well. What's going on there? Like, we are doing weird stuff with the speed. Where is the indicator gone? Ah, there we go. Okay, let's have a nice one. The Corvette is quite good at acceleration as well. I remember that from some race. Oh, I think it's clear. Yeah. Lost the position, but it's fine. That was the only hypercar, right? I think only one spun. Oh, interesting. Try to stick the nose in on Leiden already. Choo-choo. Should I just... I will choo-choo a bit more, I guess. Not really in a hurry to do any move. Let's wait for the tires. I'm somewhat happy with the understeer, like with the 9 ABS. Leiden yellow nose. Yeah, he hit the Ferrari, right? Chad, I used 3 on the... it was the GT3 fixed on Tuesday in qualifying on the Aston. I had to use 3 for, on Monza. But for the race I felt like I'm gonna spin it, so I just... to be more sure of my survival rather than best rotation, I just put it back to 6. But it does feel like if you put it within the same bracket down to a lower number, it doesn't really help with anything. Although I would have to properly test it one day. Always when I put it like from 9 to 8 or from 6 to 5, it was just locking up more, not rotating more. Which makes sense given how sensitive the tires are. But yeah, you need to work on brake bias if you change ABS, of course. So you cannot just go 9 to 6 and then 6 is a bit weird and then you say 9 is better. You have to adjust a brake bias and judge it after. Jordi ahead is scared of the rotation, scared to turn in, I think. Well, that's uncomfortable. I hope he lifts. He won't though. And now we are in trouble. The Aston with great top speed behind as well. No! I just need to survive. And I was happy with Jordi, with staying behind him, but I'm not happy losing a lot of time behind him. Back into tow. French driver, careful. I think I did the reasonable thing there. To let him go into the apex of turn 4 and then just switch back. Always works in RF2 or LMU. Jordi, we don't have time. Now look at the acceleration from the Corvette. Not bad. Flashing with the rear lights. I don't know if he will let me leave. And that's P5. Yeah, it was close to him using me as a brake already, right? I think he can brake later. And this is the worst corner for GT3s if the setup is a bit wrong. Just goes from crazy understeer into heavy on ABS, into brake, into full rear snap. I think I spun with the Lexus once there in some race. Was it maybe GT3 fixed in season 1 or something? Anyway, 6 seconds ahead, let's catch them. Yeah, there you go, already using me as a brake. No damage. He's just able to carry much more speed into the apex. And then it's the worst, because in the moment when the Lexus is most vulnerable, it's exactly the time when the Corvette is carrying 10 kph more. And then a little tap can happen, and the Lexus is around. What is he doing? Like, all that he's doing now is costing ourselves half a tenth per corner when he tries to show his nose to scare me out of the corner. Okay, hypercar did some justice there. Hopefully no other hypercars coming. Indeed. Well, if only Jordy was this quick while he was ahead of me, would be all good. But no, he was losing the rear and missing the apexes. Right. Enough of talking, let's do some laps. Some fast laps. Pace is there compared to the leaders. I fell behind my fuel saving a little bit. What a guy. And ahead they will get them on the straight. Maybe not. Some big dives ahead, let's go. Unlucky. Yeah, maybe all the American fans have gone to Mustang. What camera settings do I use? So it's 26 field of view, and I just put the cockpit camera position as much forward as I can, while still keeping the A-pillar just marginally visible on the left, but avoid it obstructing my view. I need some sub ones now to catch the people ahead. And I think around now the Corvette should start struggling a bit. Especially if the setups are too esports. going beyond that curve, which is not great because the track kind of loses grip. Can't believe how stable this is. This is the most stable but still neutral Lexus I have ever driven in LMU. I mean, of course you will say that I'm getting paid by Go Setups to say that, but I'm just saying what's my experience at the moment. Pretty nice. Fell down slightly on the energy levels. Virtual energy slightly too low. Needs to do 15 laps more. Nice fight ahead. It's not too bad to deep front right over that curb, I guess. If the car just guides you there anyway. Here I'm still gold DR for whatever reason. I think I need like 15 to 20% and I'm gold 2. And I believe in this split everybody has lost gold 1 except for myself and no Skimpy 1. I think we are the only gold drivers in the GT3. Yeah, in the update video, Mr. Hood talked about the splits, or like the classes. Let's take a cut there. That's fine. He said that the silver split is way narrower than other splits. Let's see what that means next week. Maybe suddenly we are all in silver anyway. At least that acknowledges that they are aware of problems with the license system. Dobro jutro, Lukasz. We're catching the leader. .4 for him. Well, I am on a Cutla, but that would be point free. A bit more lifting needed though. Car change next season. Yeah, I don't know about next season yet. It needs to be announced. Who knows what format it's gonna be. Yeah, well, about the Lexus, I will for sure drive it more in the future. We have registered it for the Virtual Endurance Championship, but we are now still waiting for the driver swaps to be available in hosted sessions. But I don't know what's gonna be the next season that I will drive the Lexus. Yeah, let's see. The hypers are coming. It's so funny that every time I'm in a GT3, when the new waves of hypercar comes, it's Dario Iemolo and then Fabio Grigoletto, P1, P2. Often with a bit of a gap between them, but then they always have a big fight for the lead in the last phase of the race. In the lead of the Ferrari party. That could very well be over next week, after Bob. Oscar indeed. But we will have to wait and see. Why is that a yellow limit? That curb is so... like it tricks you into taking more of it. But then you're suddenly all four wheels inside the white line. I'm getting slightly hurt. Oh, P1, P2 now in the fight. That's good. I was too quick. Yeah, I lifted and then just broke at the wrong part of track. I was too quick in saying that it's super stable all the time. But I catched it. It's catchable. That's fine. Oof. Unlucky, yeah. Second and a half, well, let's say 1 second lost that I need to recover now. I'm getting wrecked a bit by myself, a bit by traffic. Yeah, there is that one moment in the phase of trail braking, or like as you go on off ABS, which is super important to manage. And then if you manage that moment, you can use quite some rear slip still. Well, not like drifting, but you can feel that the rear is moving or helping the rotation, which is always good, but not in a way that it will kill you. Well, Christy, I collide as well sometimes. Sometimes it's unavoidable. But of course, you can always improve your chances by well, observing what you see, like fearing the yellow flags, and being prepared to stop in case it's needed. Yeah, that is surely not the luckiest of traffics that I've had. Okay, back into the focus. 7 seconds. Jordi behind has forgot to save fuel. He's in trouble. I think it's 25-25 laps wise. So if he does 24, then he will need to significantly save fuel later. I think I know how to put it in the words now. Let me get to a straight. So on the brake, when you go on the brake, it's important to always know how hard you can brake into a certain corner. But the most important part of the corner is that the moment that you start initiating the entry, the brake needs to be in a certain window. If you lift too much, you will in that moment get excessive rotation and the rear will snap. And if you're too aggressive, you will be too deep into ABS. So you need to learn how to hit that precise 10, 15, 20% maybe of brake input for a specific entry as you start to rotate, and then release the brake from there, and then it's fully okay. But it's really tricky for the brain, because like in some cars, and like in iRacing in general, the more you brake, the more you rotate, unless you go into ABS too much. Typically you really trail brake heavily into apexes, but here it's kind of like the more you lift the brake, the more you rotate. It's weird. Like here you cannot smash the brake. It needs to be like 80% or 90 max. Otherwise you will have problem when releasing it. It will go from big ABS understeer into too heavy induced rotation. Pace is nice. Pace is really nice. Yeah, that's the TC indeed. I used to have it on the raw input, but then I think it just doesn't work anymore, or I have some issue, like it only works on the filter trace, which shows TC. But that's kind of useful to me, because then I know if it's just good traction or if it's actually TC cutting. we are gaining quite some time. Huben is doing the lap more in P2. He's good. Too much ABS, or rather too much brake. I didn't know it's possible to overtake around the outside there, but it makes sense. Kamal, we are catching up indeed. And the setup is working very decently. Should probably be going to ABS 6 for the hairpins, but I'm too lazy. And then if I hit the correct inputs, the rotation is spot on anyway, so... I think this off tracks, like the grey surface, has significantly less grip than it used to have. Or maybe that's just these tires. free to go of this stint. Interesting. Son Huang, welcome to the party. We are at the moment winning the championship indeed. We will be winning the championships until Leiden is leading and we are crashed off. We have to repair. So I'm trying my best to avoid anything like that happening. But for the time being, we are still catching the leaders, which is great. We could pull a funny one and just change one side of the tires, but I think that's a very bad idea. At Fuji the tires were much colder on the right side, and we were not that fuel limited, so effectively it was, the tires just had to work less, so it made sense to only change the left side. But here I think it really doesn't make any sense. And I do hope that the people in the lead have taken fresh tires for the start. Then we will have some extra advantage. Okay. Last lap into the pits. Yeah, I have successfully avoided a couple of assassinations here in this race already. Although nothing was as bad as ELMS Silverstone race some days ago. The footage from there is horrendous.
left you the space, come on. Right then, box, box, box. Silverstone race coincided with DTM and MotoGP. I mean, probably DTM and MotoGP were better to watch because what I saw in that video clip that I also shared in my Discord that I found on Facebook, absolutely horrendous. It really makes you think then that maybe sim racing, even in the worst cases, is really not that bad. Anyway, off we go. I think we all changed all tires. And that's gonna be... okay. Let's see if I can make a move now for P4, straight out of the pit lane. Though the Corvette is gonna have easier time warming up the tire. They somehow survived. They're having some big fight ahead, I think. P2, P3. That makes me think that Noski has... maybe Noski put on... no, but they're still battling. Maybe one of them is on old tire... Nah, doesn't make any sense. For whatever reason my brain was telling me that quali tire set has still some temperature in, but that's not the case. It wasn't raining, they just didn't know how to drive, like it was literal like full flat out, LMP2 going flat out, almost flat out into a GT3 on a straight, crashing him out in a big fashion, like what have I just seen? Like really one of the most bizarre highlights of a race. Yeah. Latency issue. Where is he, Molo? Ah, he boxed. Okay. I'm not losing time to Huben. That's great. Grigoletto and Yemolo are doing the good old no change versus change. Purple sector and then this. Purple sector is a good thing to have anyway. We are still the fastest on track. No. Don't do it. Just work with me. He doesn't want to do. Yeah, I think we're like 1/10 apart on pace, so it's a bit scary. I should be safe now. Well, on to the next Corvette. If they didn't have the advantage on acceleration, it would be quite useful. Oof. Yeah, I think it's a good combination for Lexus to be like in a nice slipstream, and it's still quicker in the corners, but not bad on the straight. And Leiden is flying at this point as well. And Noski must be on quali set, he's really losing the pace. As we go for a very nice purple. Well, not really purple, but 0.7, not bad. sloppy. Cuts are not a problem anyway, so all good. Okay, let's not make them a problem. They're not making it easier for us, right? But in that case, I surely had quite a big advantage on the tire. Okay, so 15 laps to go. Should be 16. Four seconds to the lead. 2-3 tenths per lap. Not easy. Yeah, the corvettes are just dead, I don't know. they lost all pace, but they were really quick at the start. Maybe they indeed all took new tires for the first stint and then got stuck with the quali tire set. It's Fabio, right? Wait, he's still in the lead. He's greeting everybody. Well, where is Dario? 6 seconds behind. Fabio still celebrating. Classic Dario. Wait, Dario, P17! He must have had a big problem somewhere. That's why Fabio was celebrating. Okay, understood. Well, not celebrating, but had time to greet everybody individually. Game crashed. Oh, unlucky. So games are still crashing or what? I think Whitehead's game crashed in VMS some days ago. But yeah, we are indeed catching up with Leiden. We are 3/10 quicker than Huben, which is exactly on target to catch him in the last lap. What must not happen now is that I crash out and Leiden goes on to win the race. That could be over then for me for the championship. But of course I still want to go for P2 or for even P1 if the pace is good enough. Here, Michi. I let go of brake a bit. I think he outbroke himself marginally, maybe. Why am I so fast? I don't understand. Like, I visibly have more grip. Were they all on fresh tires in the first stint? Maybe that was the case. And now it's the other way around. Well, Leiden does have a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's huge. Am I the only one with new tires? I mean, alright. Looking good. practical kill button to flash myself off track. I think he got a cut though, so maybe it worked. Oh. I somehow knew that that was coming. I could feel it when I saw the line that the hypercar took. If I had VR, I would lost a second less. Okay, P2. 20 minutes to go. Don't do the same. I will not do the same. I mean, I was in such situation as Leiden like 1 or 2 times this race where a car just like hypercar put itself in a position where I should just take my line and make him back out of it, but he couldn't back out of it, so we would crash. I don't know. Huban now with a good lap time, 1.2. Yeah, I need more praise than this. I wonder if there's a possibility of having 51 laps. There shouldn't be really. Yeah, the 50.1, I don't know what it even means. Normally it means 1 lap less than that. But it looks like it's on some kind of a limit, so... And then my overlay says 9 to go. I have 10 more laps, but I have seen the overlay being even short by 2 laps in the past. "51 impossible, copy." I mean, that implies 50 is impossible. Because if we do 49, because of hypercars it could get to plus extra lap. But if we do 50, or max 50 until the 0 time, then because hypercar position it could be 51. I have more than enough fuel, but Leiden and Huben are saving for 1 extra. So I'm like, what if we actually get a lap extra? Is it the same guy? No, it's a different guy. It looks like it's a national sport to put the front splitter into the gap and get crashed into, or by the mercy of GT3 survive. I wish that was protestable, because that's the worst thing that you could do in the racing. Put a small bit of your car into a place where it's impossible to judge and not have an overlap but still be there. What is Michi talking about? Copy Serban, so I should be fully safe here. Urban, thank you, živijo. Zamudil si kar velik thriller, tako da poglej za nazaj. But well, for everyone who just tuned it, it's basically been from P6 to P2, trying to race the Corvettes that were faster on the straight, but somehow slower overall. And as far as I can understand the overall race situation, I'm the only one that went with quali set for the start and fresh tires for the second stint, because it's limited tires. I love being overtaken by Fabio in a hypercar when he is not in a hurry. And he is driving towards an easy win, so Yeah, Darius supposedly had a game crash, so unlucky. Yellow flag? Ah, rip. Almost missed the Ferrari dive when watching who was in the wall. So 6 to 7 laps. And we have 3 seconds to gain. I will need the traffic to make it easier for me. That's not what I meant. I do basically need half a second per lap. Well, Michi Roulette is through. Nobody lost. And I did almost gain half a second. Or 4 tenths. Ooh, Huben with a mistake. That's nice. I mean, I did a mistake in the SS too, but just got it right in time. Traffic making best effort to slow me down. He cut it, but I think he was 0.7. wasn't the luckiest either. How was that not a cut? .2, 1.0, yeah, that's not enough. Come on. Ooh. He's feeling the pressure. Okay, game on. I think I gained the most in first sector. Guys, I didn't even want to do it. I want to scare him, but then he was slowing down so much that I just had to stick with the dive. Sorry for the little tap. Wasn't the intention, but I think it was kind of fine. Anyway. and into the lead. Let's go. So is this the last lap? I think. Well, I have one lap more of fuel anyway, so all is fine. What a race this has been. Well, not over yet, but you can never know how much a hypercar kills you. But I now have the full trust into this Go setup. Just pushing it way too much still. Well, 8 tenths is enough, I don't need to risk it. So this is not over yet, one more lap. Fuel is spot on. Dear hypercar. It looked like for a moment he was gonna lose it. Well, Fabio says most undeserved win for himself, as it was gifted by Dario's game crash. But if I keep this, I will say most deserved win ever. Half a lap to go. Only us podium runners got the luxury of having to do extra lap. What is going on? I'm taking it easy and now the car doesn't like me anymore. And there we go. Take the win and take the championship. Yes, 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 yes. That was very, very nice. What a race. P5 in quali, out accelerated by the Corvette down to P6. And then the pace became better and better. Gonna take this result any time of day. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the GGs. That's the way that is the most fun to take the championship as well, right? Oof. What a race. Right. Before the server crashes, quickly exit. Because I want that replay to be saved. And at the moment we still have the bug where if the replay goes... I mean, if server turns down, game crashes. What is this? Why is this only plus 0.8? Broken. I think we are very loud. Everyone is loud about how weird the ranking is. But, I mean, to be honest, there was very little overall DR. Only 2 gold, 1 drivers. Yeah. Happy that it's not minus 10, right, for the win. And that's times 4, you know, times 4 rating. I don't know, I think something is broken, like it. Of course I was P5 in quali, so that is dragging it down, but still something is heavily broken. You know, maybe it's like would be -2 for quali, and then plus 2.2 for the race. You know, like I would lose way more for quali than I have gained for the race, and maybe it's multiplying before summing, but it would have to sum together and then multiply times 4. Maybe I don't know. Championship standings. Let's observe this beauty. Of course, well, this is overall. Of course, there are still races that have to be driven, but I don't think like Leiden will not get a split where he can gain 400 points for this race. Martin is too far back either, or as well. Come on, transition. There you go. Well, Jan, he would need. Nah, not gonna happen. I think it's sealed. Yeah. Okay. Where is it? This split could be more clear there. But anyway, you see, only 2 golds. Everyone falling down to silver 3 and silver 2s. So supposedly with the update, the silver 2s could drop into bronze 3 as they're recalculating the splits or readjusting these brackets for bronze and silver. Okay. Well, what can I tell you? I think everything has been said on track. I'm gonna be very smug and very happy for the next few days. I will not do any stream on the weekend, but I'll be back on the Tuesday of the big day of the release of ELMS stuff and like that. And yeah, somehow I'm still gold pair. Despite winning, I didn't lose. Like I thought I should lose DR for winning. That happens sometimes in LMU. I don't know. I can show Sasha for sure. Where is it? Settings. I can show these ones, and I can show the SimiCube as well. Well, that's about it, right? Maybe is it more visible like that? I'm hiding the stuff a bit. Where is it is this one. But yeah, in my Discord we can you can find stuff, or you can ask and so on. Fuji with TRX. What is Fuji with TRX? Traction. Yeah, that's probably the plan. We have to decide on it. Problem is that on that weekend we have. What do we have that? I'm on a wedding party on that weekend. So only Friday I can do the Fuji, but that's the case for traction guys as well. So it's a good chance that we do it. Anyway, and this is if it's readable enough. Ignore LMU. Where is it? Wheelbase. I still have the old interface in my mind. But well, basically this is what I use. Yeah, so 17.56. Does it work like this? It doesn't. I need to adjust my scenes a little bit, but I think it's readable, right? So yeah, 70% of the SimiCube 2 Pro. Guys, did you see that weird... Nah, I shouldn't talk about it. There was some SimiCube leak that I saw. There is a screenshot posted in my Discord. I guess I shouldn't talk about it because the companies will not like me if I talk about it. Anyway, I think that's it. That's it for today. Championship 1. I need to make a post now on my Instagram. That's a significant win. Even though everybody else just dropped through the season, but some dropped because they didn't like the car, or they want to do other for BOP reasons, or they didn't have time anymore. But yeah.
So actually, it's not 7 Newton meters. Remember that I can show one more. I can show one more thing here. Let me quickly open it. Because 41% is not like the peak. Because you can run into whole 17 Newton meters even on 41% in game. Okay, this is my quali lap. Come on, work. Setup. Where is it? Timing and inputs. FFB. Yeah, FFB. This is the one. FFB output. Not this one, but this one. Or actually, this one is the best. So you see that like the peak, let's say over a curb, like it's clipping. You see 100%. It hits the 100% on the biggest edges here, despite having 41. So that's 100% is 17.5 in that case on the Newton meters. Because well, maths and programming and physics and stuff. But like normally in a corner, let's say like in the fast S's, it's hitting indeed like 40 or 50%. So yeah, sustained 6 to 7 in a corner. But when the front gets heavier, it's more like 9 to 10, or yeah, would need some smoothing. But yeah, I mean, I would surely appreciate maybe 2 or 3 extra sustained Newton meters. But if you do sim racing quite a lot, then you know the wrists and stuff start feeling not the greatest anymore. So my friend physiotherapist told me rather put it down a couple of % if you want to keep doing this for a long time. So yeah, it's fine, like 5, 6, 7 in the middle of a corner where not much drama is happening. Right. Okay. Well, let that be it for today. Thank you guys for having fun here with me. It was for sure a nice race, right? See you next week. Looking forward to the updates, LMP2 and Silverstone and stuff. Hasta luego. Good night. Bye bye.